What's a career-ending movie?
What would a career-ending movie be? Like, if you had a career and then you did a certain movie. There's been many actors that have done that, but who comes to mind? I can't really think of anything.
You mind if we record this?
I don't know.
Well, a movie that we can't use Mariah Carey because her first movie was her last.
So, but she's still very popular and famous, so it didn't really end her career.
Let me think here.
If I wouldn't have asked you, we could probably discuss it.
Well, there's some movies that ended their careers, that helped end their careers, and that was the movies that made back in the 80s, like with Chevy Chase. Not the ones like Fletch Lives. We're talking, he was in a William Friedkin comedy. Friedkin's a lot funnier when he's not trying to be funny.
A lot of people are.
The Eggs, the one he did, The Exorcist. It's a comedy, actually.
Comparing that book to that movie, The Exorcist.
They got it wrong,
was amazing, and they made it a horror film, and it could have been so much more of a psychological thriller and a horror.
They say it's about faith,
but the book isn't about faith. The book is about the lack of understanding that faith. Oh God, that book. Anyway, I'm just saying that Ginger from Gilligan's Island saying that Gilligan's Island ruined her career. She had to have a career to start with if it were to end her career.
She didn't have one.
No, that was her career. That made her a career for the time being. I'm gonna make you a star, honey.
That's what I'm trying to say is about when you have something like career now. I got a lot more.
That's okay.
Yeah, but the psychological thriller of The Exorcist, versus how it was made.
It was a horror film.
Horror film.
It was made as a horror film.
William Friedkin made this comedy with Chevy Chase and Sigourney Weaver and Gregory Hines, the tap dance aficionado. It's a comedy about selling like arms for money or some other kind of thing, and it just didn't. It
didn't really have that.
No, it kind of sucked there.
Really. It kind of sucked there.
Because after he made the very expensive Sorcerer back in '77, about a remake of a French movie, it didn't do very well at the box office. Because after The Exorcist, he formed a movie company production company with Peter Bogdanovich and there's three. I think Francis Coppola. The other movie that came out of that whole production company was a movie by, I can't think, Bogdanovich, which made money for, I think it was, What's Up, Doc?
I actually really liked that movie.
You did?
Yeah.
You never saw Daisy Miller yet, have you?
No, I'm sorry. I'll watch it eventually.
Did I give you a copy?
I think I have Daisy Miller, yes.
If you ever read the book...
It's a white case with, what's her face on the front, right?
Yeah, Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd, yeah. Her going...
I think it was right. I think maybe she was a little too old for the part. I think for that age, though, but I think that... You read the short story, right?
What, Daisy Miller?
Yeah.
No.
Henry James wrote it. Henry James is the kind of guy, I'm almost ready to read him now at my age.
Oh.
I said to myself, when I read Henry James, I got older.
You're a man of a certain age. You can now read Henry James.
Yeah, I can actually appreciate the Grand Master's writing.
Okay, I'll have to look and see if I can download it. Do remind me.
Yeah, well.
Sigourney Weaver. You said that movie failed. It didn't ruin her career.
No, but I don't see her much. She's still making TV shows, movies.
She was in a lot of movies there for a while. She finally came back around as the woman who could play someone's very attractive older mother. Which sucks, because there should be far more roles for older women in the world, but there just aren't.
Do you like when people do that? They act like a woman, they try to have like a lower voice. Oh, like a woman's talking. I'm thinking, that doesn't even sound like a woman. It sounds like a fake woman. It sounds kind of stupid to me. I want to talk like a woman now, so I have to lower my octave. Watch this. No, I talk like a gay guy. So my days go, oh, that's how a gay guy talks. Thank you, Dad. I know it's hard to believe my parents ever do such things.
Your parents would never.
Did you think to have met them?
I would love to have met your father. I think he and I would have gotten along very well. He sounded like a nice guy.
He was so happy I met Lara. He goes, you have somebody in your life. I'm thinking, no, Dad, I don't.
No, Dad, I really don't.
It's been 20 years coming up from their anniversary time. Getting a chance of a 30th anniversary, I think there's probably a chance of that happening.
Well, she'll waste away in depression and anguish before that ever happens.
Because John,
Because John won't love me.
I want you to want me. I need you to need me.
She's begging you to beg her.
That song was really depressing. That's a depressing song with Cheap Trick. People going, catchy.
Yeah.
It's a catchy song.
It's very catchy.
But the didn't I see you cry?
Right. I love you to love me. I'm begging you to beg me. Shine up my old black shirt. Put on a brand new shirt.
It's amazing. It used to be
That you love me.
Weather Channel 11 on cable. I used to have like all the war like some stories, news stories. It was all printed out, maybe like a little picture. They had the weather. They play songs like that in the background because you play that song.
Okay, that's a very, very famous song, yeah.
Back to Alone Again, naturally, Alone Again. It's a really depressing song.
That is a very depressing song as well, yes. There's a lot of songs that if you really listen to the lyrics, they're not very positive.
Well, they say the culture, the arts show the health of a culture, or not the health.
Or the lack thereof.
Or the health. Maybe it's what heavy metal is.
Maybe.
Well, again, like I said the other day, maybe this is like the Indus River Valley in like 2000 BC. Maybe this is just the beginning of America.
That's true.
Maybe America 200 years from now won't even remotely look like this.
I could only hope so.
Do you hope it changes?
I do. We all need to change things always. People always say, I like the old ways. Well, no, you don't, because you changed it to fit you.
You don't like the old ways.
I don't like the old ways. I like the new ways only.
Like the high ways and by ways. The high ways are
and through ways.
The through ways.
Through ways.
Get this, John, put that hat that I cannot see who behind you. Do you think it would have been hard for you to be?
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Yes, I think it would have been very hard for me.
If I hadn't dreadful walking by, I would have shit myself.
How would you know? She had her mask on.
She always had one. Mask. Hi.
Well, different kind of mask.
That wasn't a mask. She was always herself to me.
Do you think she was always exactly who she was meant to be around you? I don't think I very much met her very many times. Maybe once or twice. I did not see you at all when you were with her.
Yeah.
I really didn't. You were wrapped up in a gossamer blanket of
Hi.
haste and hello. Of anger and
Gossamer
spite
blanket?
and
You got to do with a gossamer blanket. I'm thinking.
and definitely being far too horny for each other and not doing anything about it.
That's what.
That's what John Sankett said, right? Or was that not him?
John Sagan said that to me. He goes, and Denman said something like, he goes, you guys despise one another because you don't have a schedule, and she has. That's very important to her.
She only has. That's all she had was a schedule. That was the only thing in her life was her schedule. And you didn't have that at all. You guys were a wonderful yin and yang. Except you were both the same exact piece, so it just didn't fit together that way.
Were we the same exact piece?
You guys were the opposite of the same piece. So when you tried to merge together, you were like this instead of like this. And that's why it did not work out. Because you were too
Individualistic?
You were too much the same, but far too different at the same time. You were opposite, but not complementary.
So it was doomed from the beginning.
I think it was doomed from the start to be dramatic. She's been doomed from the start, I would say.
Right now is the first time I've been on planet Earth for the whole day. I'm actually sitting here on reality right now.
I know that you idealized her, but
I decided that she and I could discuss.
nothing.
What
What did you discuss? Besides your mutual love of cookies? I'll never forget that.
She kind of fell asleep on my shoulder one time,
Aww.
but then
Was mad because it screwed up her sleep schedule. She wanted to be vulnerable around you. She just couldn't. It wasn't allowed. There wasn't time. She penciled you in and then erased it immediately. She really did.
did she belong in my life? You think as far as that period of time? No.
I think that it was a wonderful era in your life, and I think you learned a lot from it. But no, I don't think that you and she belonged in the same sphere.
You got the other extreme of.
They're very similar in many ways, because I also don't think you belong in one another's lives, but I just don't care for that.
It's like actually, it really is like being around that sergeant in Gomer's Pile.
That one? Oh, different one.
Which one's that?
I don't have time to talk to you right now, John. I'm typing. Come back later.
Oh, Sergeant Potty.
Stop typing nonsense to look busy.
Why couldn't she say, John, I don't like you at all. You smell bad, and blah, 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 blah. blah,
Because she did like you, and she couldn't come to terms with that. That's why she couldn't say anything. Because no matter what she said, it would be a lie. People are far too caught up with what they think other people need to hear. They need to just say things. They really do.
They do.
And some people say things all the time and not care about what other people think, but that, I think that's better, personally. Would you rather someone lie to you all the time to make you feel comfortable, or would you rather hear the truth and be sad for a while? Most people don't ever want to be sad.
Do you think it's funny where you start analyzing words, what they really mean, like language is a virus from outer space, as one of us girls would say.
It's a little bit funny.
The feelings
Feeling inside.
There's you like when they had the music where it extends because they couldn't put the word there. Feeling inside, feeling inside,
Those who can easily hide. Oh yeah.
by me.
It's like if you ask a normal person how many syllables the word Gloria has in them, and then you ask a Catholic how many syllables the word Gloria has.
Gloria, Gloria. That song?
Yes. Or you've got Gloria. That's a lot of syllables.
Do you think if Alice could talk to me, she'd say something?
I think as a female, she would say something, but I think as a cat, she wouldn't want to. She would leave you in soggy silence because she wanted to see you sweat.
I think Melmoth would like this.
I think Melmoth would have called you fuckhead all the time, but in a loving way. Hey, fuckhead, feed me. I love you, fuckhead.
I found a few turds hanging around the fence.
I'm sure that they were ancient Melmoth gifts.
Do you realize it'll be 7 years coming up if he left? I think Alice coming in my life is pretty important. I think softening that whole kind of going away thing.
She really needed you too. I don't think that she would have survived with certain people that she was with before.
If you have anybody ever talked to you before you? I don't. Well, I could see you traveling. You would be great with any kind of travel logs or travel vlogs, whatever they call them now. I could see you. You could see you talk about the first time you ever went to England, the first time you ever went to Rome, the first time you went to some place like that, going, yes, and the alleged caviar crawl off the plate or something like that. You'd be funny for some kind of upscale magazine. But it's amazing, even in the county, like this morning I ate at the Chinese restaurant with Daniel, a Mexican restaurant over across from Safeway. Daniel drove me over there. So I came back.
Oh, is it good? I've not been in there.
I like the morning breakfast. Sometimes I have them just drop me off. Every time we go over there, we come back here for some reason. So my car is going to bring up some food for me from Natural Grocery. I got popcorn. You won't tell Ruth, will you?
I won't tell your sister that you're eating lots of popcorn. I'm sure your live videos
Bad
will do that
news
for you.
is bad for you.
No more popping corn!
No more copying porn. Thank you, Damon. Anyway, you know what your bitterness reminds me of? Some like these stars that almost made it big, but they were cut out of a band beforehand. Not like Pete Best, but
Did you just call me Jupiter? Thank you, John. It was almost a star.
Jupiter, almost. Almost like that chick Diane Lane.
Almost a star.
Fully gassed and almost a star. I felt badly for her because she was been promoted in '79 as being a top star, and maybe she made with Laurence Olivier, somebody else.
She's made movies here and there,
but never the big ones. Like I don't think Jodie Foster was ever a movie star. I don't ever see her ever being more than her. Every time I see her in movies, it's the same person. No acting.
Right. Characters are Jodie Foster. She doesn't play any other character.
I am Jodie Foster with the FBI. I am Jodie Foster with the alcohol.
I'm Jodie Foster, and someone stole my daughter because I discovered nuclear fusion. I don't remember the plot of that movie.
I'm in a Disney movie. I'm in Tom Sawyer. I play Becky Thatcher.
Jodie Foster. No, Becky Thatcher as Jodie Foster.
It's Becky Snatcher.
Or Becky.
Or Jodie. No. What am I? Chopped liver?
What am I? Chopped liver? You can be Clarice.
Or lop shiver. Yeah. Jimmy. It's funny.
So funny.
Thanks a lot for talking.
Thanks for the laughs, Johnny.
Get to go home.
We laugh and laugh and laugh. Wrong. It's wrong number.
Make sure
It's the wrong Johnny.
Make sure you get a copy of this.
Please do. I'm excited to read it. With a new foreword by Michael Chabon. No, that was upside down.
This is Lewis Heiss, Trickster Makes the World.
Mischief, Myth, and Art. I'm going to find a cross section. This is Douglas.
Don't worry, I won't put your name on here.
Oh, I don't care. The whisper that my master was my father may or may not be true, and true or false, it is of but little consequence to my purpose, whilst the fact remains in all its glaring odiousness that slaveholders have ordained and by law established that the children of slave women shall in all cases follow the condition of their mothers, and this is done too obviously to administer to their own lusts, and make a gratification of their wicked desires profitable as well as pleasurable.
Isn't that true?
It's just an excerpt. from. It doesn't really say.
I don't thank you for coming over today.
It was Frederick Douglass, of course. Thank you. What a strange book this is. There are designs in this world, but there are also chances.